let's come on now to the period where you were you come back home, but you were facing these future treatments. Presumably, what was next? The chemotherapy?
Yes, the chemo first.
And tell the viewers and myself what you went through there.
Okay, I didn't know what chemo was. You hear about people who've had cancer, they've had to have chemo, and I thought, what is chemo? What's all this about? Is it just a tablet you take or something? So anyway, my first day arrived for my chemotherapy, and basically it's a drip, kind of, they put it in your hand, but it's kind of a 6-hour kind of procedure. Yes. People think, in fact, I can remember one of my members of staff at my job, I can remember saying to them, I've got breast cancer, I shan't be into work for a while. And she was so rude and said, well, can't you come in the afternoons? See, this is kind of an ignorance if people don't understand what actually it is.
Yes, that's a fair point.
Yes. So the chemo, they put in your hand, and so I think the whole thing was, because they have to kind of put another bag on which drains it through, a flush. 6-hour procedure to have it all done. So you are absolutely tired out.
How many times did you attend for the chemotherapy?
Well, 8 months of chemotherapy.
Really? That's quite in depth then for you. It was quite lengthy, wasn't it?
Yes, very, very lengthy.
How did you tolerate that overall?
Do you know, I really don't know how I coped sometimes. But what kept me going, I thought, well, it's going to make me better, because the things I suffered with, I want everyone to know, just because this chemo done this to me, it doesn't mean they're going to get the same. Don't compare each other's cancer. You've got no way. It's completely different. Basically, my teeth were getting a little bit loose. I lost the taste completely in my food. That was ridiculous.
So you couldn't taste the flavours anymore?
No, I couldn't. That had gone. I could have eaten cardboard. I wouldn't have known what I was eating.
Really? And that affects your enjoyment and appetite, doesn't it?
It was. And then I think the worst part at the beginning was mouth ulcers. I had over 30 of them in my mouth at a time. Yeah. It was really hard to eat.
From the chemotherapy, though? From
the chemotherapy. And then my nails, fingernails, toenails were getting loose, or looked like they were going to come off. And then the skin on my feet used to get really, really thick. And I was in a bit of a state, really. But that's when the immune system was down. But when it started, you know, getting back to normal, I felt okay again.
So you really did have a lot of problems from the chemotherapy?
Yes, yes. But then I thought, well, if the chemo's doing this to my body, it must be killing all the cancer.
That's a nice way to look at it, in a way. If it's that powerful,
yes,
it must be doing you some
This
good.
is what I kept thinking. It's like a strong medicine.
Yeah.
So if it's killing, you know, or it's wrecking like all my skin on my tongue, all that were coming off, and it's causing all this soreness, then it's got to be doing something inside to be killing.
And is that kind of a psychological tip, if you like, in order to get through it?
Yes.
To see that it's definitely probably working, so it's worth tolerating those side effects, even if they are really harsh at that time.
Yes. Because I thought, well, that's not my illness, that's just the medicine that's causing this.
Yeah.
And once that medicine, that treatment's finished, I'll be fine. Because I won't be suffering any of these things anymore.
Was there ever a point you wanted to give up, though, and say, I can't really carry on with it?
Towards the end, the last 2 chemotherapies, because they both ended up in the January. Yeah. So basically I had 2 lots of chemo in that January. And basically you can't control your sleep. And you basically, it feels like someone's injecting you and making you, forcing you to go to sleep. Really?
Because of the fatigue?
Yes, the fatigue just takes over. Yeah. You could be talking to somebody and then you've just gone and nodded off.